What's the funniest take on Bitcoin you have heard from someone who doesn't understand it? My mother-in-law recently said, "I can't believe you're invested in Bitcoin. It's worth nothing." She then bragged about her 5 interest on 6-month CDs but didn't know what CD stood for. Oh, you mean the money that you can't even touch? Edit. Why would I invest in something that isn't even tangible? If I can't hold it, it can't be real. My funniest one: it's not scarce since you can divide it into 100 million satoshis. From my colleagues and boss: it is a scam. Stop talking apt crypto to them. The government will create its own version of Bitcoin and people will use that instead. Jamie Dimon said that Satoshi's face may come out after the last Bitcoin is mined and laugh at us for believing that there were only 21 million. I have a military backing my currency. That it has no value because there isn't anything physical like gold backing it. The funny part comes when I explain to them how US currency is backed. 5 interest that investment is barely treading water, and actually lost money in 2022. It's a scam. That Bitcoin is dead. Open mouth smile rolling on the floor laughing. That Ponzi scheme? I can't feel it in my hands. I come here for the laughs. Miners are secretly training AI. Edit. An actual quote. And this is after many hours of explaining to a programmer about hashing. I had a friend ask me last week if Satoshi was gonna rug pull everybody at some point. When Sam Bankman-Fried was arrested, my dad told me, "The inventor of Bitcoin is bankrupt and in jail. Hope you didn't have more than $5 into that shit." Why would I need it? What if your flash drive is stolen? Buy Bitcoins. Anyone at any time with enough power or money can just take your imaginary money. Ook. Let someone get half the nodes. Or pick the same atom seed phrase as me. I mean, if you buy Bitcoin and hold it for 6 months, you might get a 5 return, or a 5 return, or a 50 return, or a 50 return. There are plenty of situations where you'd prefer your principal to stay completely safe with a guaranteed 5 return to partially counter inflation, is what I'm saying. Bitcoin was invented for the Silk Road. Drug lords and crooks. It's worthless fake internet money that's only used for drugs. Someone overheard me and a buddy talking. Understanding BTC versus USD is a lightbulb moment. Enough info have to enter a mind to understand. Some people shut down too soon. 821. Bitcoin is only for criminals. What happens when they turn it off? What happens when there's a solar flare that shuts down the grid? Expressionless. The funniest part about all of it is that they don't even know what fiat is. Had someone wholeheartedly believed that it was impossible to cash out, even when I sold $5,000 in front of him, deposited it in my account within 10 minutes, he still thought I made it up. That one has to buy whole Bitcoin. Friend told me that Bitcoin is made by hackers and only used by hackers. Face with spiral eyes. 5 is actually not that bad for something that is similar to a savings account. Dan Pena: Bitcoin is going to fucking zero. It'll be at 150K after next halving. Because it is open source, anyone can just change the code to take all the Bitcoin for themselves. So why hasn't any random troll done that then? Shaking my head. All those folks who treat it like a tech stock. As a crypto supporter, this sub produces a tremendous amount of uninformed takes. Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency really gets me rolling. Like, how dumb can you be? I don't like the Bitcoin CEO, it gets hacked every day. It's going to become reserve currency is pretty hilarious. I've heard people unironically claim that it's a good way to store wealth and mitigate inflation. After it lost more than 50% of its value in 1 year. That was funny. It can't be used for laundering money. Michael Lewis, Nicholas Taleb. North Korean money. It's dead. It was just a hype train and now everyone forgot about it, rolling on the floor laughing, rolling on the floor laughing. Bitcoin is a pyramid game or same as tulip bulbs. Actually, the funniest sketch was done on Sesame Street years ago. It's goin' to a 10 meters. Lol, it's a compact disc. She not know about Apple Music? What if they just stop with it? They pull the plug out of the servers. When BTC were around at ATH, TV news began talking about them and presented BTC as illegal money used to buy and sell drugs, organs and weapons. I was dining with my parents when my 80-yo father asked me out of the blue, "You don't mess with that shit, don't you?" And I candidly admitted I actually own one, and he was horrified for some minutes. I tried to explain him that even companies like Microsoft accepted bitcoins, and in the end he ended up ignoring bitcoins completely. FRPPL just repeat what they've heard and don't conceptualize things. BTC is basically a better version of gold. BTC doesn't have the physical aspect of gold. But in terms of maintaining value, there's a guaranteed supply cap. PPL can find more gold. Or different methods of gold production can be established, space mining, etc. But because PPL and the government say it's bad, they just believe them. Bitcoin is like Pokemon cards. It's a pyramid scheme, lol. Friend, Bitcoin is worth nothing me, its scarcity is a factor. Friend, my toenail clippings are scarce. A solar flare can just wipe out the Earth's computers. That it uses a ton of dirty energy to create a single Bitcoin. You can't do anything with it. How do you even buy it? The best part of those 6-month CDs is you only get 6 months of the 5th of April interest, roughly 2.5 of your investment, and most people think they are going to get 5 return on their investment. But at least she is doing something with her money. My friend says that only lucky people that know the market make money on crypto. I don't think it is that difficult to understand, but anyways. That it's a scam and they don't invest in things that are not tangible. Face with rolling eyes. That it was created by the CIA. You should tell your mill about the real rate of return on that CD after inflation and taxes. While explaining debating the value of Bitcoin, a colleague told me that Bitcoin has no value because it has no physical coins, notes or cash, and that digital money wasn't real. As he was saying this, he proceeded to tap his credit card to pay for his coffee. At which point I pointed out he had just exchanged digital money for a cold brew. Something that falls 50 in value can't be a good thing to park his money. This was after it reached 69K. Cold sweat smile. Bitcoin is a scam and it's going to zero. That's the funniest one I've heard. Jamie Dimon said something like, "How do you know they won't just create more?" I looked into Bitcoin, but then it crashed, so I'm glad I didn't touch the stuff. It will go to zero. 5 guaranteed interest in 6 months is fire. Bitcoin is worthless. Half the people I'm around know absolutely nothing about it and have nearly zero curiosity, and the other half just don't like it and wish it would go away because they don't know anything about it. Tears of joy. My dad, it's not backed by anything. That it's a Ponzi scheme by the government. Irony.